Well, good morning. Another early Tuesday morning, which means day shift. Yes, it does. Alright, which is good stuff. So we got a little coffee to kickstart the morning. Running a little bit behind this morning. It's already about 04:10 or so I'm running a little bit behind. Happens that way sometimes. Alright, but wanted to share this morning. I was trolling down through eBay the other day, not looking for anything in particular, and I ran across this one. It was mislabeled, and it was in a Jim Jr. box, one of the parade boxes. It's a Canadian E2, my first Canadian Schick, and it's pinned. It doesn't open it clean or whatever. It's in really nice looking shape. I cleaned it up, scrubbed it up, and alcoholed it and got it ready to go, and popped in a new Persona blade. We got some of the old Personas that are in the plastic, which is, we all know how those are, but they do work, and it is a nice blade. So there we go, a Canadian E2. Haven't used a Canadian Schick yet. I've got some other Schicks. I dug out my Schick grip the other day. I'll be using here before long. It's up here on the counter with my stick Schick and my G4, the 66, and then I've got my other G2s, and I got my my G1 there. So anyway, I've got a bunch of Schicks out on here lately. I've kind of been on a Schick kick. Pull it and don't know it. I like it. And I've also got the what we call the Hussy, the H1 up here on the counter. So I've got them all drug out here playing with. But for today, it's going to be the E2, the Canadian E2. I'm going to use some Canadian-made soap. Yeah, the copper hat. This particular one is still the Bay Rum, which is a really nice scent. Boosters, which is Canadian, if I'm not too mistaken. Yep, made in Canada. This is the Oriental Spice. We used the Polar Ice the other day, but Oriental Spice today, which is a nice light spice scent. Nothing heavy about it. And we're going to use the B400 by Tom. This was a hand machined 400 style handle here. The B400, the brush, with a nice big Omega boar knot in it. So that's going to be today's shave this morning before we get off to work. Should be a pretty nice day today. Alright. Oops. There we go. This soap is still not really nailed down very well in this bowl, so it wants to wobble around. We're going to make it work. It's a nice, generous sample. Sent to me by a good buddy of mine up in Canada. And it makes some really, I don't know if you can see that. Oh, look at that. Really nice lather, really easy. Got a nice scent to it. He sent me a couple of other samples with a couple of other scents, so once we get this beat down some, we'll try some of the other scents. But for today, we're going to stick to the Bay Rum. And it's not a real heavily scented, which I like just fine. Pretty good. Alright. Couple swirls there to get things going. Let's see what we got. So I really don't know what to expect with the E2 here. Whether it's going to be like my early E2 and be more aggressive, or if it's going to be like the later E2 I have and not be as aggressive, or somewhere in between. I'm okay either way it goes. I do like an aggressive feeling razor. Got some blade feel to it. It's nice. Alright, well, notice how nice that copper hat, the Copper Hat, I think is the name of the company, and notice how nice that boar brush works that up into a ladder this morning. This is pretty nice. About a day and a half or so growth, I guess, from the last time I had shaved, so give it a little something to work on here. Alright, here we go. As usual, we're going to start out with a pretty much with the grain pass. Well, that answers that question. Canadian's got a very nice feel to it. Very efficient feeling without being overly aggressive. Very nice, actually. Very nice. Feels a lot like the other later model E2 I have. I say later model because the spring is pinned in place. You can't open them. Uh-huh. Alright. There's a little stretch going on under here. I find if I get a nice stretch going on under my neck, it helps get it smoother. Now, someone asked the other day if when I shaved, if what I called a good shave was really smooth all over, or if I used the saying, if it looks like a clean shave, it is a clean shave. When I finish up a good shave, my cheeks and chin are really, really, really smooth. Just about always. And under my neck down here, I don't shoot for the baby butt smooth or anything like that. When I get through under my neck, it's going to be a damn fine shave. Usually a very high class damn fine shave. That, you know, it's not as smooth as my cheeks and my chin, but still pretty good. I could make extra pass and go against the grain and worry about all that comes with that and get it down that smooth, but a couple hours later it's back feeling like sandpaper. So baby butt for me is kind of a myth. It just doesn't last, and it's not worth the hassle. I can do it, but by doing our normal with the grain pass, coming across the grain, getting a little angle, is what we do. We come across here, we get a little angle and come across, and then doing our little touch-up pass with the we're gonna come across at an angle here. Nice, easy, slant-like angle. And then by coming back with our witch hazel with the touch-up pass to get whatever we have left. See, we got a nice little slant going across there. That's how I do it. And that's nice. It comes out really nice. But one thing I will say, if you're kind of getting started in this, on how to use these or whatnot, don't worry so much about being, you know, really smooth all over. That'll come with practice. If you look clean shaved, you are. And it'll save you a lot of irritation and problems when you're still learning your technique and everything. It all comes together in the end. It takes a little while sometimes, but that's when people start changing blades and changing razors and looking for certain razor and blade combinations. Once you learn the techniques and get the skill down, then all that stuff is fun. But once you start with, you don't know if it's a good blade. You're not going to know if the razor works better with another blade because you don't have your technique down. A lot of times you're trying to cover up technique problems with tools. And like they say over in the 30-day crew, it's actually a little bit backwards for that. Your technique will trump your tools. As you get into this, pretty much blade's a blade, a razor's a razor. You can have your favorites. I do. But generally it's because I like the feel of the razor or whatever. It's not because I can't get a shave from one or one shaves so much better than the other. Generally that's not what it is. So boy, while I've been running my mouth, we've gotten knocked out a good shave. The Canadian E2 is typical Schick. It's got a really good face feel to it. On the jawline, if it's a little rough and you can't get around, just pull the skin up tight, and then you pull what's under here up, and you can get on it with a more straight stroke on it. That's where skin stretching really comes into play. And we'll come under and do our normal under here. Got a good feel to it. Maybe down by the ears here. It's always a good spot to get a little touch up. Make sure sideburns are about straight. That razor feels good enough to just do a complete another pass. Hey, how about even a little, when we talk about against the grain, I can do that. How about a little against the grain along the neck, just because that razor's feeling so good this morning. Happens that way sometimes, eh? Best I can do for Canadians, sorry. My Canadian buddy said that, to the end of everything. So, it's coffee, eh? What do you think? I don't know. Anyway, Canadian E2. I do know. That's good stuff. Right there. The copper hat soaps. I recommend them. They've got a good feel to them. The bay rum here I've used is nice. I've smelled a couple of the other of their scents, although off the top of my head, I think one of them was lumberjack. And I don't remember what the other one was right this second. Sorry about that, Patrick. You know, I can't remember everything. Boosters Oriental Spice. This is Oriental Spice. Like I said to start with, it's not really heavily scented, and it doesn't last. It smells like all day, but all through the day you'll get a little whiff of it every once in a while. So it's pretty nice, pretty good on the skin feeling. It's just a plain alcohol splash, but I kind of like not fancy stuff, so it works out really well. So there we go. Y'all have a good day, and I'm gonna blast through a shower. And I like it. Something new for the collection. A Canadian Schick E2. It's got the pinned spring, but this one's in pretty good shape. I don't mind spending $15 on one of those all day long, especially when it benefits charity. This actually came from a Goodwill. I don't know if y'all know it, but Goodwill stores are sometimes doing, you'll see for charity, benefits charity or whatever on eBay. A lot of times that's a Goodwill store somewhere that's selling stuff, and that's where this came from, was a Goodwill store. So y'all have a good day. I'm gonna go do the same. If you have any questions, whatever, pop me a comment here. Come over to Toast, the Original Safety 2. That's the number 2, all one word, the originalsafety2.com, and come play with us. Explore the single edge and the injector razors. That's all we do there. It's all SE all the time. Have a good day.